Oh boy, just imagine what a day. I mean, you're actually gonna buy a Ferrari. I mean, love them or hate them, they're still the ultimate, the pinnacle of motoring desire. And you'd be walking in here and oh, hello. Oh boy, this is fantastic. Jason.
Hi, Richard.
Very well indeed, a lot better for coming in here. I mean, who does come in here then and actually buy a real Ferrari?
We get a big broad spectrum of customers. 95% of them have been working class people who've built the businesses up.
They made their own money?
Oh, of course they have, yeah. And then the reward being, like every child's dream, they decided to go for the Ferrari.
Well, that's exactly it. It is still the dream car. But when they come in, what are they like? Are they really cool and relaxed and chill and blasé about it? Or are they like me? I would faint. I wouldn't get through the door. I'd be too excited.
If it's one of my repeat customers, then some of the times, you know, obviously they're a bit more laid back because they know us, we make a friend of them, etc. If it's the first time, then they're a bit reserved, but they're really excited.
Can you tell they're still,
oh,
I'm buying a Ferrari?
Yeah. And even customers who've had 2, 3, 20 or 30 cars always get excited.
You're around these things all day, every day.
Very lucky man.
You lucky man. But what are people buying into when they buy a Ferrari? What is it? What is the whole Ferrari thing about when they spend a lot of money, and it is an awful lot of money?
Well, there's no logic to putting £100,000 into a car, but a lot of the time it's a lifestyle. So, I mean, our biggest competitor, believe it or not, isn't other manufactured cars. It's actually big boats and helicopters.
Serious toys.
Yeah, but the easiest way to find out is let me take you out in one and I'll show you what it's all
Really?
about.
I'm not going to argue with that. Oh. Right, so you've picked a 550 Maranello.
550 Maranello, fantastic car.
These are a big seller for you, are they?
Yeah, fantastic seller. Here we sell more cars of the 550 than anywhere else in Europe.
How much is this worth?
This listed out new £158,000.
Right, I better be very careful then, hey. Okay, key in ignition, round to lights, press button. I believe that's button pressed, is it?
Yep.
And off we go. What am I looking for to experience when I'm experiencing a Ferrari if I've come to you for the first time as a novice buyer?
Obviously the sense of speed, which is difficult to do on the British open roads, but you know you can feel it in first and second on a car like this. You know, people talk about 0 to 60s on these cars, and yeah, they'll do 0 to 60 in around the 4-second mark, but we actually talk 0 to 60, 60 to 120, and 120 to 180 is about the same time difference.
Right.
The car will do a metric mile in less than 23 seconds, and it just is unforgiving. It's just pure unforgiving power.
Just while we're sitting here at the lights, because even in a Ferrari you get stuck at the lights, just as a place to be. I mean, it is such a tactile experience, isn't it? Is that part of what
the driving experience of it is just superb. Obviously the showmanship of the vehicle, you know, it's like a piece of art riding down the road, and people will look, you know, and you get that feel-good factor in the car, not because you're posing in the car, but
you can't help it.
But you can't, no, and people don't buy them for the ego boost, but you know, it's nice to see people smile and point and say, oh look, a Ferrari, because really you never see them.
Jason, what do people say when they're coming to buy one and you say, right, okay, well let's go and take a spin in this, see if it's the one for you? I mean, what?
That is the route that I normally take them. I try and ask them what they're going to be using them for. The average Ferrari tends to be the 4th car, but it doesn't have to be. It is a car that you can drive every day, but from a business point of view, from a practicality point of view, it might not be the most practical car for you to use, whether it be in business or for leisure. If you've got children, obviously you can see there's only 2 seats in this car. So we try and take them down the line of, well, what do you really want from the car? Is it something for a Saturday afternoon, a Sunday, you know, a Sunday dinner time? Is it something that you just want to go out country lanes and just get that feel? The myth that goes with Ferrari, I can't put my name on, and nobody else can. It's just there, and there's something about it.
Have you ever had anybody get in and just say, yeah, it's not?
Well, I work on the basis, like I said to you, Richard, you know, it's a fantastic car. If you bump it, bang it, or scratch it, you own it. So, you know, if you want to do that, it's a nice sale for me.
Do you ever find yourself sitting there going,
I've had some experiences, but I won't comment. Yeah,
I don't want names, but
no, I have had some area experiences,
really?
and
People getting a bit carried away.
if somebody gets in a car and doesn't know how to drive a car, and I mean really doesn't know how to drive a car, but thinks they do, I'll normally make a comment.
But you've got to break that one rather gently, because I mean this is a £160,000 car, nearly.
Yeah, I will.
Them not buying it would be a bit of a disappointment.
Well, I normally break the comment without actually swearing, so I suppose I am breaking it gently.
As gently as you can.
Yeah, you've got to do.
Yeah. What should we look for if we're buying a Ferrari? Which, gotta say, I'm not. But if I was, are there any rules? Is it as simple as that? It's unlike anything else, isn't it?
It is unlike anything else, and that's what's so unique about buying a Ferrari, if you like. So, what do you look for? Try and stay away from the imports, only because you've then got the British service history, the usual stuff really with a lot of manufactured cars. The other thing, a lot of people sometimes comment on left-hand drive vehicles, but these cars are capable of 200 miles an hour, and believe me, when you're overtaking a wagon and you're on the wrong side of the car, I wouldn't like to be the passenger in a left-hand drive car.
No. So have you ever had anybody? Well, you said when people come to buy these things, you can still tell there's a little bit of excitement there. It is a Ferrari after all. When it comes to driving it and testing it, have you ever had anybody who seems really sensible, but it's a Ferrari?
Yeah, they do. They do, and you know the cameras will come out with some customers and they'll videotape it, and it's great because when I deliver the cars, which I sell all over the country, and when we deliver by a covered wagon, and when the cars coming off the transport are all gleaming, and you know you can just see it, and it's just they just can't wait to get in the car. They'll always take it easy because it's the pride and joy all of a sudden, and they'll take it easy. But sometimes you just think just a bit too keen to get in that car.
Because we want to hear from you that when people buy a £158,000 car, they're still excited. We need to hear that.
They are, and I mean you're driving this car at the moment, and it's just a dream car that you want to get in the car and drive it all the time. I mean, I sell them, I drive them all day long, and I'm very, very lucky like that, but I never get in a car and not be excited. It's just a phenomenal feeling to drive one.
One thing we haven't mentioned, this is really important, Ferrari, girls, Ferrari.
I'm not commenting.
Right, so if I drive like really slowly through town now, put my skinny little elbow out the window.
I'd like to think they were looking at the car and not you, Richard.
How right you are. When you're buying one of these things, I mean, there's an element of investment that don't depreciate as much as an ordinary car, and there is that prancing horse. How much of it is the badge, and how much of it is reality, is what the thing can actually do with these?
I really believe, with regards to the badge and the car, I really believe with this car you are getting £150,000 worth of car. You know, it's a select model, granted, they're all one-offs, they're all individually built. The car itself, everything about it, to me, is that showmanship, that one-off about it. So,
do you know? I think I'll take it.
Thanks very much.
Yeah. How long can I pay it off over? I was thinking like
we do finance on these vehicles as well.
How many hundreds of years?
We take them over 4 and 5 years.
Why? You wouldn't do like 200, something like that. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Just how much is the car of your dreams actually going to cost you? Well, the entry-level 360 is going to set you back a cool £103,000, while a 456 is yours at £170,000. And if you thought you could find a bargain down at the local car supermarket, think again, because with an unmatchable image, a second-hand 355 is still going to cost you the better part of £45,000. Okay, let's be honest here. For most of us, the prospect of owning and driving a Ferrari is likely to remain forever the automotive equivalent of a cosy night in with Natalie Imbruglia, Kylie Minogue, Meg Ryan and a vat of custard. Nice thought, but not likely to actually happen. But it is strangely a little bit comforting to know that the lucky devils who are able to afford to walk into a place like this, pay the money and drive out in a Ferrari, still feel just a fraction of the excitement that would have you and I frothing at the trousers. Okay, we could try and make out a rational, reasoned case for having a Ferrari. They don't depreciate like ordinary cars. In fact, if you can get a 360 Spider at the right price, you might even make money on it. But that's not what they're about. Ferraris are not, never have been, never will be practical. Can you see an estate? I don't think so. They are very expensive toys for very rich boys and girls, and that's what makes them Ferrari.